Welcome back to Small Town Big Mouths. This is Nikki, your resident bartender.
And this is Amber, your one and only. And today we have a new guest, and his name is Frankie.
Hello,
Hi, Frankie.
I'm right here.
He's a little nervous. It's okay. We're not going to bite you.
Man, we'll find out.
Amber might.
I might bite you.
Steer clear.
He knows me. He knows I won't.
Yeah, there's a lot of bite marks everywhere. Not on me, but certain individuals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See?
Not from me.
Only on Niner fans.
Hey, calm down. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a topic that we had posted about, and it is, if a man wants to, will he? And I'm going to start off by saying, how do you distinguish between effort and excuses? Frankie, do you want to jump right in and go ahead and tell us your opinion on...
Well, wait. First, Frankie, are you single?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that's important because, I feel like when you're married, it's different. I don't know.
So, like, when you're
as
first...
single person, you have more of a opinion on certain things.
Well, I feel like when you're single, you're making more of an effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the question? I'm sorry.
So what's the difference between effort and excuses when you're dating somebody? Whether... And excuses could be for a man or a woman dating. And how do you feel about the role of, if a man wants to, he will? Because a lot of days that's what women are saying. Because a man should take initiative when dating.
I feel like a lot of women are speaking on men a lot, talking about like they don't put a lot of effort or a lot of action into trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's kind of hard for men to do that because it's easy for a woman to like reject them or not show a lot of effort, and it doesn't hurt for a woman to to do the same thing. We're past the 21st century, like past way that. So I feel like a woman could do a little bit more effort.
So you're saying the women aren't putting in effort either.
It's like women.
It's a two-way street.
Not all women, but
yeah,
they are expecting more.
Yeah.
Like they're takers.
Yeah.
I feel like.
They have high expectations.
Right. And especially when you're leaving the door open for other people to kind of date you or get to know you. Mm-hmm. It is hard. I feel like if I don't hear from somebody I'm talking to, like maybe they've had a busy day, but I don't feel bad about sending a text and saying, hey, like, how's your day? Hope it's been great, or whatever it may be.
Even if like they get it, but they don't reply, and the day goes on and you don't hear from them, even though you're like, hope your day's going good, you're still showing effort that you're letting them know like you're thinking about them at that moment,
Right.
And to me, it's been back in my head like a person's never too busy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it.
Everybody has their phones on them.
You're never too busy to at least shoot a text back. It takes a few seconds.
Yeah.
It's really annoying though, like when you're friends with them or you know them or you see them on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and they're online, but they're not, you know what I mean? Obviously you're not too busy to be online on Facebook, on whatever, but you're too busy to like shoot me a text or ask me what I'm doing or see if I'm okay.
Well, I kind of have something to say about that because somebody told me that. They're like, oh, you're already up and on social media, but you can't text me good morning or whatever. And I'm like, I'm just opening my eyes.
Yeah, well, that's a little much.
And I was just like, that was like, yeah, you just pushed me away a little bit further.
Right.
So, I get it because I've seen guys be on social media and then like not respond or whatever. And I'm just like, I try to remember how I feel in situations like that. So they're going to respond when they're,
Yeah. No, and I try and remember too, like, I fall asleep all the time with my phone in my hand. Mm-hmm. So like I could look like I'm online when I'm really not because I'm literally, I have fallen asleep with my fucking thumb on something and like I wake up and I'm like, what the hell? What did I just buy something? Like I have to like make sure I didn't buy something or like text someone or like something that I didn't want to like, you know what I mean? Because I'm bad. So
you don't think there's really any excuse not to, like, if you're dating someone, you've gone out on a few dates, you're interested, she's showing she's interested, and then maybe a day goes by and there's no communication. Do you think there's an excuse for that?
There shouldn't be no excuse for communication. There should always be a communication because, I personally always see and always dealt with past where it's always like, man, you're not communicating with me about this, or you're not replying quick, or what are you doing that's constantly busy? It's like there always has to be a legitimate reason, that you're not capable to reach out back to them when they're expecting it, on time. You could be busy at work. It could be busy at work and you can't get to your phone. If you have kids also, and single parent, and even though the partner knows that you're a single parent, you're doing everything on your alone, you're going to be constantly busy doing duties.
Are you a single parent?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you probably deal with this a lot.
Yeah.
In your dating life.
Yeah, I gone through situations where it's like, I see a lot of women that they have high expectations, but they say it, but their actions doesn't
reflect.
No.
Yeah.
No. So, and then when I'm like reaching out or, just like how you said, like, they don't respond back. And then I say like, you could like shoot another text later on, like, I hope you're having a good day. We didn't get to talk. They see it as like you're bugging or being annoying. It's like, no, like,
we like each other supposedly. Like, why aren't you responding?
What's going on that, that you're not keeping up, matching the same level? Because I see a lot of like, oh, well, guys nowadays don't have these certain things, text fast, reply fast, whatever. It's like when you have that, you're not you're not paying attention to that.
Right.
And
then also I think going into new relationships, or not even relationships, dating, in the beginning it's always like call or text right away, and then like it kind of
tapers off. Yeah,
it does.
It's always like the first second day, how it is. You're constantly just having a big conversation and it just dies out.
Well, so that is like a good. Do you believe in the chase, or is that a convenient excuse for being lazy in a relationship?
I mean, it's like the honeymoon phase, right?
It is. Well, that's what they call it, the honeymoon phase, because it's like when you're on your honeymoon, everything's great. So like when you're first dating someone, everything's great when you're first talking to them. And then, like you said, it fizzles out. So is that just like people like the chase, and then once they acquire whatever it is they're chasing, that they're done?
I mean, I've been like that before, where like I may not even really be interested in somebody that much, but I'm like trying, and then as soon as like I catch, I'm like, okay, I back
it's
up.
Catch and release.
Yeah, catch and release, smash and dash, whatever.
No, catch and release, not even smashing and dashing.
I'm just
so you
joking.
just stay fishing then, huh?
No, I want to be in love. I do. I really do. But I think it's going to take somebody very strong-headed to be able to deal with all the stuff that I have going on and understand. I mean, I'm a good communicator, so even if I have a bunch of stuff going on, like, I'm not afraid to send a text. Like, my phone's right here.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why I can't. If I'm going into podcasting, like, hey, I'm recording from whatever, like, I'll hit you later. I just feel like there's no really reason not to communicate. I think what happens is we have options, and it's so easy that maybe they're still on the dating site. Maybe there's somebody else in their inbox. I mean, who knows?
You don't know. You literally don't know unless someone tells you.
With the options thing, I always see it as like, if you're trying to talk and be in that talking stage, make sure it's just like it's just that one person. I understand you want to have options, but if you in that talking stage, and then you have options on the side, you're misleading this person, because this one person could be putting all his time and effort, where he could just be like, just keep it as friends and have other options. But it goes both ways. Yeah. It goes both ways.
For sure.
And that's the part that kind of sucks.
So here's another question when it comes down to that. So say you meet somebody. I don't know if you have done dating apps or you just meet people organically, but say you are on a dating app and you hook up with somebody, you guys go out a couple times. Like, when is a good time to say, like, hey, like, I'm going to hit snooze on that. I'm going to focus on you. I mean, when is the appropriate time to do something like that? Or even meeting somebody organically, like, hey, like, I'm really into you. I want to focus on this relationship.
I feel like I'll start on the first couple of days, like, you guys start talking, conversating, and then it ends up being him or her, whoever comes up with the question first, and hits him with the, hey, what are you looking for?
Right.
What's your intentions with me? And then that's where it just happens. That's
how what you.
Yeah, that's what how I see
it.
an approach. Like, okay, you can talk, conversation's going good, but then it's like, what is really your intentions? Because I don't want to be misguided on your actions.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna invite a little special guest that we have here because Frankie came last minute and he has his son with him. So go ahead and come over here and say hello. His phone's not working, so we're gonna let Dad fix that. Well, look at you're on TV, Francisco.
You're on TV right there. Say hi.
He's like, I'll give it half an effort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on.
Technology.
Yeah, technology sucks.
Yeah. So while he's doing that, so what we were talking about was what was the thing that you started out with?
The effort or excuses?
No, the thing that got this.
Oh, the if a man wants
yes,
to,
if a man wants to, will he?
Yeah.
So while I was just giving him a chance to fix that, so we have some people that actually. Are you Frankie? Are you the Frankie on here, Morales?
Yeah.
So Frankie said it's vice versa. If they want to, they will. 100% goes both ways.
I agree with that.
So let me read a couple here. I don't know how to say this name.
Naj. Just say Naj.
Naj.
Naj? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Naj.
You know who he is.
Yeah.
I believe that if a man feels appreciated and sees the effort and it is reciprocated, then yes, he will most certainly give back in return. However, nowadays, the fuckboys mentality and the idea that men ain't shit and the I don't need a man mindset can really push a good man away. It can turn them into these bad boys, making them think, why even bother? Dating has become a nightmare because marriages aren't respected anymore. That is the truth. Side pieces are seen as something to be proud of, or sneaky links and lying have become the norm. It is a toxic environment, and no one, whether a man or woman, wants to deal with that. This is just my personal opinion, not saying it's true of every man or woman, and this is Naj saying that. Let's see, my friend Bobby Joe. If a man or woman wants to, they will. They will find a new job, get out of debt, take better care of themselves. It's a pet peeve of mine because unfortunately the men I've been married to didn't act this way. I had to grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically because no one else was going to do it for me. I have 4 kids, 2 minors and 2 adults that I had to care for. No amount of encouragement could make them better themselves for our family, so I did it myself. Now I'm so independent that I'm sure that I even recognize someone stepping in to help. What is that, really?
Yeah, I mean, it would be crazy to actually have somebody step in and actually be like, oh, I see how busy you are. Like, I've been gone since 8:30 this morning. I'm not going to be home till later this evening. So I would want somebody in my life that's like, don't worry, I got it. Like, even though my kids are independent, like, it would still be nice to be like, hey, like, I got food for them, or just that reassurance.
Right.
It's still so hard though, because like we're at 2 different levels. Like you're at a level where you have a lot going on, you have kids at home, I am at a level where I can do everything I need to from home. The only time I need to leave is if I'm coming to record or if I'm going to work. Mm-hmm. I don't have a child at home. My son is an adult. He has his own child. So for me, it's like I require less of it and yet still can't find it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just, it's until people really come together and think that, decide that this is, hey, what I want to jump into, we're all just kind of just shooting in a barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody's with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have any experiences?
And you know what?
Because you're a single dad. I know it's got to be hard for you.
It is hard because, I mean, I do like be told like, hey, like come in, let's hang out and everything. I'm like, I really can't because I have my kid. So at a certain point, it just stops. Like, oh, come hang out, let's do something.
Do you have family help though? So you have someone who will come over and watch your son, somewhere to take him. No,
I usually do everything myself.
So how do you go to work?
Well, it depends. Well, you know what? I do have
like a mom, some family help.
Like an aunt that helps me, but like
shout out for those aunties because I have my auntie that helps me.
I really don't have a lot of family that helps.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's been a gap, where I was unemployed. I went through like 6 jobs, because it's hard being a single parent, especially a
For
dad.
sure.
I mean, a mom is difficult. It's hard too for a mom, especially for a mom, but
I think
for
it's
a dad
harder
that's
for a
trying-
dad because that's not the norm. You know what I mean?
We're supposed to be the providers,
Yeah.
so it was hard, difficult, to try to keep a job, try to find date, childcare, and it's not easy.
And I can't
It's
even
a struggle.
imagine how much because I know when my son was little, my childcare was almost as much as I was making. It was ridiculous.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It is.
So I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I just been raising it myself, and I do what I had to do to manage what I can do to provide for my kid, and so far I've been doing a great job.
Right. And
I started kindergarten.
Yeah.
And people have to understand when they date, it's single mother, single father, whatever, your children come first.
Definitely.
First and foremost.
I feel like when you're talking about being busy, I talk, with people single parents that are busy constantly, that have kids that are always busy doing things, work, taking care of the kids. They had to get them ready for school. They don't really have childcare, and they're in the talking stage with somebody that don't have kids, and they're like, they get fed up, like, man, you never have time. It's like, yo, you have to understand that this person is constantly doing something all day, and you don't know how it is because you don't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads me to this question.
Okay.
Do you try and date women that have kids?
Yeah.
Because it's more, they understand more.
They understand more.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything wrong with women that have kids or don't have kids.
Right. But it probably is
more understanding.
easier.
It's
Yeah.
more
And they're more understanding and they get it.
Or
We're
you could
women
go to
that,
the park with the kids and
Yeah.
kind of hang out like that.
yeah.
But
I'm trying to think when I was actually actively dating as a younger person, I didn't really have, like, I could take my son to my aunt's house, so I didn't have that worry. Like, I don't know what I would have done if I just,
didn't have any.
in my job, I've been at the same job 25 years and it doesn't allow for that. I work at night, so he had to be somewhere. So.
Yeah, it was kind of hard trying to keep a job. It sucked. I should, but it's not easy. It's not easy being a single parent.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It wasn't easy when I did it, and I can't even imagine trying to do it now.
Well, like for me, I really don't want to date somebody with younger kids. I mean, my youngest is 12, so, and then I have...
Going on 25.
Yeah. And then, Michaela's about to be 18, so they kind of take care of each other.
Yeah.
But unless you're really ready to be a step parent, I don't think you should date somebody with kids, whether man or woman, because if you're dating somebody and you like them, like you're also being a role model for another child.
Yeah. And also you got to think about it too, like, are you ready to start all over again? Because the kid's small.
Right.
So you're starting all over. Your kid's already grown. You're going back and raising another kid.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm at the age that I don't want to do that.
And some guys aren't
I'm
having
done.
kids till they're in their 40s.
Yeah. And we just met some guy that did a podcast. He was in the bar and you were talking to him and he was just going through a breakup with his girlfriend. But
Yes.
when I was listening to him talk about it, it sounded like she had young kids and her kid had autism.
Wait, what, are we talking about the same?
Yeah.
The one that,
Mm-hmm. Did his, it was
his son that has,
okay. His son or her son had autism.
Mhm.
And so that is a whole nother, now you're just crushing this kid's whole world.
Well, and you got, in a situation like that too, you got to be really strong enough to be able to date somebody with a child that has,
Right.
autism or
Learning disabilities, any of those things.
That's
Yeah.
a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
And you got to have a lot of patience for that.
Right.
So
But then you went into it and now you're breaking up and now this kid, it's different than just, having a normal child and going through a normal breakup. Now you're trying to explain to your child that has autism or Down syndrome or whatever your child may have, explaining to this child what is going on. And it's already hard enough just being this child having to think about, their parents broke up. Now they're dating someone and now these people are, I just can't even, I don't.
That's my biggest fear, the last couple of years while the girls have been growing up is bringing somebody into their life as a male father figure per se. I don't want them to get attached to somebody and then like 2 years down the road it doesn't work out, because I mean my mom dated, you know, my parents divorced when I was 2 and she dated and had long-term relationships, but you get attached to these men. So for me as an adult, I was like, I'm not doing that. I will not do that to my kids. So I think that's made it a lot difficult for me too, because I won't just introduce every and any guy that I'm talking to. Like they know like I date or whatever, but you're not going to meet everybody.
I think my son met 2. Yeah. 2 guys that I dated.
Yeah. What about you? Do you introduce your son?
No, I don't.
What if another girl has a same age child and you're like, hey, let's go to the park?
I feel like it takes on both, where we both have to be
okay with that.
Okay with it and ready to, because at the same time, we got to see how serious we are into the relationship.
Right.
You know, we're just talking and getting to know each other. I don't think that's an appropriate time until it's actually, you guys are willing to take that next step.
Okay, but on the other side of that, you could take your child and her child and go somewhere. And if the kids got along, that would be an even bigger, you know, reason for you guys to try and do something. You know what I mean? Yeah. You could go as friends, like, hey, let's just take the kids to the park, and they could have some time together playing as kids are going to play. And if your kids got along, that's just, you know, that's just another bonus.
And I have been through that where it's like, oh, we should take the kids out, even to the park, just have a little picnic, let them play. But I still get the same feedback. Oh, you know what? I don't just take any of my kids around anybody. It's just at a certain time, which is understandable. Yeah. You know, I respect it.
I get both sides of it, though.
I don't want to get looked at like, oh, well, you're willing to. It's not that I'm willing to. It's just like, you actually also got to see how they are with the kids and also how they feel comfortable around that person.
But you have to make concessions because you have a child. These are, and so to me, it doesn't sound, someone saying that, oh, that's too much. I don't think that's too much. I think that's like, we don't have to be doing anything. We can just sit and have lunch. That's 2 normal people do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Or it'd be like, oh, I have a 5-year-old son or whatever. Like, we know each other. So would it be weird?
Yeah, you're just 2 friends having lunch that could just see how your kids are getting along. I mean, yes, there may come feelings after that, but like, how else are you going to get out in the dating world if you have a child and you don't, you know, put that foot forward? And I do get both sides of it, because I didn't want my son around anyone, but I didn't have that option to like, the guys that I was dating didn't have kids. So it was like, you didn't have that option.
A lot also, it's like, there's times where I've asked like, hey, let's go hang out. Let's go to a movie or something. And then they're like, oh, you know what? I can't have my kid. I wish I could. And then I'll see them like, you know, post here on social media, or even like
they're out somewhere.
They're saying like, I wish I could go to the movies and get asked out and everything like that. It's like,
I just asked you.
You get that, but you don't take the opportunity. You're like, nah, I don't have a child. I don't have a childcare. I don't know. I'm not ready to date. And it's like, we're not dating. We're just going on a little, I mean,
outing.
Usually people like say date.
Yeah.
You know, it's the proper way, you know, old fashioned. I'm old school, so I just say date.
Yeah.
I'm going to date. But I was going to hit that, and I'm like, well, you can't find a sitter. And then they'll hit you with I'll see, maybe I'll ask one of my family members. But then it's like, you know, the back of your head, they're not asking. You know, they're not taking the time to like, hey, you know, let me find.
Well, that comes back to effort.
And it's like, it comes back
to effort.
Excuses
or effort.
I hear a lot of excuses. And it's like, if you see a man willing to take that time and opportunity, you know, he's actually into you, you know, because that time that he's trying to give you, he could give it to his kid or do something else.
Right.
You know, but he's actually giving you these signs that he wants to make time for you. Take you on a movie, you know, taking to go get ice cream.
Does that come back to the whole she's just not that into you thing? Does that make you feel like that?
Yes.
I would think so too. Like if you keep making that's an excuse to me. And you're not really trying to put an effort, it kind of puts a sour taste in somebody's mouth, and they're just going to back up. And the
same thing how you said, like, you also see them out. Like, I see that a lot too. It's like,
I feel like I saw that a lot.
See you, like, I just asked you, and then next you know, they're like out and about with their friends. It's
right.
Like,
at a bar or doing whatever. Yeah.
It's like you're making yourself out there that you want to be in a relationship. You say these things, but your actions shows different.
Right.
See, and I feel if there's a will, there's a way. Like,
Yeah.
if you really want to do something, like, I'm going to figure it the fuck out.
If you want to, you will,
Yeah.
or whatever the hell it was that
and
you
gotta
said.
have consistency, you know? Not everything is convenient.
No, it's not. We live in a convenient age, yes, where things are more convenient than they were years ago, but there's so many other factors that go into it now. You know what I mean? Like, life was much simpler when I was younger. Now there's so many more things that go into it, but there's also so many more things that you could go do. You know what I mean? So there's more options now.
I do have a question, like a topic thing to ask. Because I know Naj had said something in that post. And I've been single for 6 years. It's gonna be 6 years. I'm really open, very social person. I'm really friendly. Like, I talk to everybody. I get along with a lot of people, you know. So it's easy for me to like meet new people because I'm just a character.
Yeah.
You know.
He's part of my Raiders group.
So he met Bobby Jesus?
He hasn't met her. He hasn't been around this season yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, maybe?
I don't think so.
Her name is Bobby Joe, and one of the guys at the Raider group called her Bobby
She's a blonde
Jesus.
girl. She was at Straw Hat last year.
I
And Nikki was there too, but I don't know if you were there. But Raul, when he saw her at Club One, he was like, Bobby Jesus! And she started.
I lost my shit because...
That's my uncle right there.
Well, because she's very religious. So, yeah. So when he said that, I was like, oh my God, I couldn't stop laughing. And then now I just call her that.
Yeah.
Well,
and she doesn't mind.
So I'm very friendly. So I get along with a lot of people. And I tend to I've been out of the dating game for a long time. So I'm trying to get back in. But when I guess I'm so friendly, a lot of people
take it for flirting.
But a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women just assume that you're just a hoe. A man's a hoe.
Because you're talking to everybody?
It's like, no, it's like, how am I being a hoe? Because I'm talking to everybody, getting along with everybody.
Being social.
It's like, okay, if I talk to a woman, a female lady, and trying to ask her on a date and she don't want to, then a while passes and then I see somebody else I'm interested in. So it goes like here and there.
Yeah.
Same place, same location, same day?
No. It's just like you talk to multiple people, but it's like not at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to get back into dating.
Yeah.
But this person rejected you, so you just move on to the next. You have options.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's what you're supposed to do.
I have options. And I've been told I'm a hoe because I'm a man. I don't get that. I'm single. How am I a hoe if I'm single and I can do whatever I want? I'm not in a relationship. I'm not tied down to nobody. I have options.
Because you're hooking up with people or because you're just asking people out? Okay.
Asking like, oh, you know,
for me, that's insecurity on those women's part.
I can agree. Because you see me, I'm very social. I talk to everybody. It doesn't matter. You've seen me out. Does that make me a hoe for talking to everybody? I mean, I'm a grown-ass woman. If I want to do what I want to do, then I'm going to do what I want to do anyways.
Supposedly Fresno small, and they're like, if I'm talking to somebody and then next, I go on with the next option, that person, I guess, knows this other person. And they're like, oh, he tried to talk to me too. Oh, that's crazy. He's trying to talk to me now. How am I supposed to know that they know each other? But they're like, oh, well, he's being a hoe. It's like, how is that being a hoe that you didn't want to, but now you're letting this person, oh, well, he talked to me.
How are you supposed to get a date with someone if you don't try and cast your net out wide to get to the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that doesn't,
so I've been told oh, well, you try to talk to my friend or so-and-so. It's like, how am I supposed to know that's your friend?
Right.
And then, well, you didn't want to talk. So it's like, why are you worried about it?
See, and to me, as long as you didn't sleep with them, then who cares?
Right.
I would tell her, well, don't snooze on me like she did.
Yeah. I mean, there was a point when the first thing I had to ask guys is, do you know this person, or this person? Okay, did you sleep with them? Because that's where I draw the line. Right. If you tried to talk to them, okay, whatever. They didn't want to talk to you, that's on them. But unless you actually had some sort of intimate connection with them, I really don't care.
And I feel like if you're being friendly and you could get along and well with others, even if
isn't that a good thing?
My big friend group, it's a lot of girls, but I respect my friends, and people take it like, man, why are you out there like that? Like, why you being a hoe? I'm like, how? How am I being a hoe?
Because you're friendly.
Friendly.
That's not hoe behavior to me. I mean, I'm old school too, but that's not like being a hoe is like you're having sex with all these people.
All right, so back on track as we took a little quick break. Maybe I can insert like a commercial there.
Commercial break.
Yeah, a commercial break.
A little ad or something.
Yeah, something. I was looking into that, by the way.
Okay.
So back to what we were
when
saying.
you left, we were talking about like that I think it's a red flag for girls to be telling him that he's acting like a hoe because he's someone's friend. Then I was telling him because I'm a bartender, I have to be, I have to be putting myself out there all the time. So like I'm always, when we go, oh, I work here, I work at Old Town, come see me.
Right.
That's not me being a hoe. That's just me trying to get customers and trying to get people to come in and see me. So like for him, you can be nice to people and not be a hoe. That I feel like that's the
jealous.
wrong verbiage.
They're just jealous.
Yeah.
Especially if you know the job and the environment you're getting yourself into. If that's not you and you're worried about other people, what they're going to call you or that you're too friendly, or don't do that. Don't do that type of work.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're in the bartending scene or any job that has to do with that, you have to, be out there with a lot of people.
It's hard because it's like a stigma. Like the first thing I have to tell people when I start talking to them on like social media or like, let's say on a dating website, what do you do? And then I have to say I'm a bartender. And then of course it's a stereotype because every bartender's a hoe. And I'm just like, no, I just literally, that's my job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from what I know of you, Frankie, you seem like you have to be more mature than, probably normal other guys your age. So with that being said, you need to find a woman that's confident, secure, has stuff going on for herself, not these little girls out here, at her bar.
Even like
these little girls in the streets.
Even the older women that have also.
Ooh, you little hoe bag.
I mean, I do have a little, thing for older women,
Well, I am 40, Frankie. No, I'm just joking.
Age is a number.
But
some older women are not even mature also for their age, and
for
it's
sure.
like it doesn't match their.
Well, and that's again insecurity. You know what I mean? Like that's very insecure. I don't feel like there's a lot of really secure women out there that can come and just be like, and that's what you need. You're going to need to find someone like that that's secure, that knows, like you just said. And that person's out there for sure. But, finding them is a whole nother ballgame.
And you know what? And also, too, on some of those comments that Naj has said, too, that women see men as like fuck boys, sneaky links, or whatever. It's just those certain women are constantly back with their ex back and forth, and those exes jump with somebody else, and then they come back and still want to talk down on men. It's like, how are you talking down on men if you don't have your options open and you're still going back to the same person that's doing the same thing constantly? And
toxic.
You want to talk down on men when it's like the same person you're still with. Try somebody different.
Talk down on that man, but not all men. Yeah.
And you know what? It gives me a little upset that a lot of women talk down on men a lot, and you don't see men out here really talking down on women a lot. I hear more women always constantly just talking down on men, and it's just wrong.
It is. I've been in different. I'll just say, my husband. They're like looking back at things now because he's not here. And the way I did talk to him at times, I'm like, God, like I beat him up, and was I wrong for some of the stuff that I nagged about or talked shit about? Probably not. It was the truth, but it was my approach. And it probably made him feel this big, so I don't think that, like looking back, I regret some of that, but I was a lot younger, and you learn with each situation that you're in. Mm-hmm. So I think that's important. Like self-worth as well. We got to have self-worth and be confident in who we are as a person. And if you're not, then really, like, should you be dating? What do you think, Nikki?
Yeah, I agree. You talk about your ex-husband. I used to beat mine up a lot, but like not physically, but like but also, let me just preface this. He deserved it. Okay. He was a meth addict, both of my ex-husbands. So like anything I gave them, they deserved. And they both were women abusers. They both put their hands on me. So anything that I said to them, I didn't care because it came from a mean place.
It came from anger.
It came from anger, but it came from also being hurt, being pushed down, being spit on, having a gun pulled on me, like all the things that they did to me. And then trying to live with someone who was hiding from me the fact that they were doing meth. And
I see a lot of that stuff that you guys gone through, you guys carry that with you guys. And it's not something easy to just let go and forget because it's always going to be there. But I feel like it shouldn't be brought into the next person you guys
and
date.
It definitely
and
isn't.
It's not their fault, you know.
Which is why this is why it's funny, because I didn't carry it into my second marriage. I ended up marrying the same person that I married the first time, the exact same person. Beat me up, did meth, talked down to me, was a narcissist. So I've learned, and I still I'm not angry about it, and I don't carry it into any relationships that I go into now. But that's just what I'm saying is that's proof that I didn't carry it from my first relationship into my second because I allowed it in and married the exact same person the second time.
So you had you had a bad picker.
Yeah, no, exactly. So do I look at things differently now? Absolutely. But I'm not mad, and I don't carry it into my relationship. But you're right, because there are women that do that, and I know women like that.
Yeah.
And just because someone hurt you doesn't mean everyone's going to hurt you. Mm-hmm. Just because one guy was a meth addict and beat me up and was a narcissist doesn't mean the next one is. It just, it just so happened that I married that same type of guy the second time. Like, I fucking didn't learn my lesson.
And you know what? I know these people that, this couple that they've been together for 5 years, and the girl, she just constantly is like going back and forth with this issues that she has, and the dude is like constantly there, like telling her, hey, he's communicating with her and letting her know these issues, and then they just break it off, but yet she still wants him, and then he tells her what the issues are. She kind of like works on it, but then back to the same thing.
She works on it enough to get back in the relationship.
And I don't get how like he's letting you know these issues. He's communicating with you, and you're not listening, and you're still begging to be there. But why are you doing that when you're still going to keep being the same person? Like,
that's the people doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. So your friend, the guy, should probably find someone else.
It's been 5 years. I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, I'm no therapist over here, but
I think people get complacent.
Yeah.
It's
easy. It's convenient.
Easy. You already know what you're getting yourself into. You don't have to put in a whole lot of work.
Right.
Dating sucks. I mean, even like me going out on a first date, it's like, what am I going to wear? You think about those things. I mean, as a man, do you think about those things? Like, how do you look? How are you going to present yourself?
Especially on the first day, like how it's going to go. Are we going to have good chemistry? Like, are we going to have a good conversation? It's not going to be silent, like thinking about
awkward.
What to talk about. And
yeah,
it's going to be awkward.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking. It is nerve-wracking.
I think, though, and I just got done, I think I told you this yesterday, and I told my son this yesterday. You get to an age where everybody has something. Everybody. I don't care who you are. Something you do is going to make someone upset, even if that person loves the shit out of you. But you have to go in with, what is it that I'm willing to accept, right? Because there is nobody out there that is going to tick every single box you have. It just isn't. It just isn't going to happen.
Thanks for the reminder, Nikki.
Sorry. My son and his girlfriend are having problems, and he said she's very overbearing. He says, I go to work and then I want to come home and I want to relax. And I'm like, Well, she goes to work too and works a pretty good job and probably wants to come home and relax too. So you gotta like, and I think what's going on, I don't know, but I think what's going on is she's coming home and she's still doing stuff at home, and he's coming home and he wants to play video games.
He's like, take off my clothes.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to kick my shoes off. I'm going to play some video games. I know my kid. You know what I mean? I love him. I know him though. And he's probably thinking, fuck, whatever we're doing can wait till tomorrow. Well, she's probably like, let's get it done now. And he considers that to be nagging. Is it? Okay. But then I told him, back at all the girls that you've dated. And is this the worst thing? Maybe you should look within yourself and see, like, do you really want to go out and like try this all over again? Or is this something that you could just be like, you know what? It's not the worst thing.
Yeah. You know what? I was married before. I was married. But I was already at a point where I was already mature for my age, already knew what I wanted. So I was like, yeah, let's give it a try. I was really falling in love with this girl, and I was like, let's just do it. Let's make it happen. So I got married. A ring won't change a person.
No.
A ring won't change. It doesn't matter. A ring won't change a person. I would work 10 hours a day, come home, and then get nagged at like, oh, why you take forever to get home? It's like, I always let you know when I'm getting off of work, and I tell you that there's traffic because everybody's getting off of work. They're trying to go home.
Right.
But then it's like, okay, I get home. I'm like, hey, like, is there something to eat? Oh, no. I'm just trying to cook something. It was just like that daily. So it's like, you're nagging when I get home. I don't want to do that.
There's no fucking hot food.
Yeah, and then there's no fucking food. So I would have to go buy food. And they're like, oh, why are you taking long? I'm like, I'm got to feed myself.
Yeah.
Because you ain't doing it. Then I would do laundry. I'll make sure the place is clean. I'm doing everything. It's like, man, I might as well just marry my damn self. Like, I could do anything a woman can do. But I do want a woman, emotionally and physically.
Yes. Absolutely.
But if I could do everything, you know what?
Someone
I've been fine.
has to come in your life and compliment you. Someone has to come in your life and be your equal. They can't come in your life and be overbearing or be underbearing, however, if that's even a word, because neither one of those things are going to work. Someone has to come in and be by your side and work through, and like you said earlier, if one day I don't feel like cooking, maybe you cook and then tomorrow I cook. If I don't feel like doing the laundry, then you cook and I'll do the laundry the next day. You know what I mean?
Turns.
But if you're constantly the one doing it, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for anyone.
Also, like that person was not liked around my family. It was just constantly no more chemistry there. And then they're like, oh, well, you're
and
always
that's
out
a
and about.
turn off, right?
Like, you know what? It's like,
is that a turn off?
Yeah,
when your family doesn't like them? Yeah.
And then I try to do things like, oh, let's go out, let's go do this. And then they're like, what time we're going home? And it's like, we're having a good time. We're bowling. We're out dancing. And
why was she concerned about when you guys were going home?
She just wanted to be home. She was just a homebody, I guess.
Okay.
So she didn't like to be around people. So I was like, okay, well, then if you don't like to go out, then I'm going to just go out and hang out. But I was always with family. A problem. And then there was a problem like, well, you're constantly going out. I'm like, I'm with my family. You know where I'm at. Yeah. I'm not doing dumb things, And
you could have came.
I was seen as the bad person, but she was doing the bad.
Right.
She was cheating. She was talking to people behind my back. That's usually the way it works. I would catch her. Yeah. And I was done because I still stood there. Even she broke up with me one night to go back with her ex, and then my dumb ass was still there when I could have just left that, but I was still there. But I was the bad person. Right. In a relationship.
Well, that's someone, what do they call that when you projecting? They're projecting things onto you when they're the ones doing it. So, and that's usually what cheaters do.
Well, I would say to everybody, don't settle for less. Don't settle for breadcrumbs.
Don't settle for breadcrumbs, but also don't think that you're going to get, a gold cake because you're not.
And you know what? I seen on TikTok a video where this guy, he's asking questions, interviewing just random people. And he asked this girl, like, would you date someone that lives at his mom's house? And she's like, she said no. And then she's like, wait. First off, she would, but then it has to be, maybe he's going through it. And then, he's not financially stable. He maybe lost his job or something. And he's trying to get back on his feet, Like, if he ain't doing nothing with his life, then no.
Right.
But she made it seem like clear, like, you know what, I would.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he has some good reasons why.
Yeah,
he's
is he
living at his
sitting in the
mom's.
basement, like, playing
And then
fucking video games all day? No.
The guy asked her,
Saving
okay, so
money.
do you have your own place? She's like, yeah. So he goes, would you let him move in? She's like, if he's wanting to pay 50-50 with me and do everything, yeah, why not?
For sure.
Shit, someone come pay half my bills, please. But I gotta like you.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah, there's that part, you
Yeah.
know? Or maybe we have different schedules. Wait, I work from home most of the time, so that's not going to work.
Different schedules doesn't really work out either.
Yeah.
No.
No, I think it really boils down to, with this whole situation, is your self-worth. I'm going to circle back around to that, just because I feel that if somebody rejects you because they're not asking to get a sitter or they don't text or whatever, like, it's just a redirection into something else. I feel like every time I've dated somebody, I learned something better about myself and that I can fix, because I was shattered after losing my husband. So there's a lot of things about myself and dating that have evolved, you know, as
You're learning about yourself.
I'm learning about myself, and I've learned how to communicate and what I want and I don't want.
And you know what? It is hard for men to try to take that approach on women, because it's easy for a woman to reject men as men to reject women. Because I could try to talk to somebody, like, we go to the bar and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to get rejected. It's easy. But if it was a woman trying to go to a man, a man, 99% they're not going to get rejected.
See, and I think I'm a little too nice, because, like, if a guy, like, tries to ask me for my number, I'm like, yeah, here, like, I'll block you if anything. But, like, I don't, it takes...
And things like that kind of puts men's self-esteem down. It's like you gain that opportunity. You open that door. You open that door, and then
embarrass him.
Yeah, but you open that door for him by giving your number.
Amber thinks
like,
she's doing him a favor over there.
Yeah, you're doing a favor by making him feel rejected.
So
You're doing a disservice to him.
So what am I supposed to do if I'm not interested in somebody's
Tell
like, hey,
him.
can I get your number?
You could just tell him, like, hey, you know, it's not like that, but I mean, I'm
trying to network,
just
okay?
talk. We could just talk and hang out, you know, have a beer. But
I'm not really looking to be dating someone, but I'm always open to friendship.
All right, I'm going to try that next time.
But when you do give out your number, you're opening that door, that chance for that person, for that man. And then when you block and they don't get he's getting rejected. And that's what happens to a lot. That's what happens to a lot of men. We get rejected, and it sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks, and it brings us where women have expectations for men, but these men don't take that because they don't want to feel rejected.
Yeah, nobody wants to feel rejected. I mean,
which is why I don't walk up to men and say anything to them. I don't want to get rejected.
I mean, if you guys hit it off when you guys are talking without giving your number right away, and you guys hit it off or something, then hey, you feel comfortable on giving your number, then yeah. But the man should also respect. Okay, you want to give your number? I respect it. Keep it that way.
Yeah.
You can always give their Instagram or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, here's my IG, follow me.
There you go.
But then, I mean, I should show you my DMs. It's fucking insane. You know, and like, I'm nice because like maybe I feel like sometimes maybe guys will DM and maybe they just want conversation or, you know, they have questions or whatever. And I don't always feel like they're trying to get at me. And maybe there are people that listen and, you know, whatever. Like I communicate. If I have time, I'll answer your message. I have no problem with that.
And it's sometimes too, like there's some men out there that sometimes maybe they just don't want to get at you and they just want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
An ear to listen.
I like to conversate. I like to talk. Like sometimes it's not about I'm hitting on you. It's like I see you by yourself maybe, or you see me by myself. Hey, how you doing? How's your day going? And it starts off like that. It's not always about
hooking up or whatever.
Like
yeah.
Sometimes somebody just wants to have a conversation and communicate.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about it before. We like to be mentally stimulated. Like you can have an amazing intimate relationship with someone, but as soon as I'm not like mentally stimulated or it's repetitive in the relationship, I fall back. I need to like feed me. Let's elevate.
Sapiosexual.
Like I want to elevate. I want to be better than I was last year. And I want someone to build with me and like maybe bring out qualities that I don't even know
I remember
about.
something in a conversation that we had
Yeah.
a while back when we were at the bar. You had to talk about like you want to build and someone to be matching your level, matching
Not
your
just
energy.
staying the same.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I do have a lot to offer, and I do everything with both feet in. So I need somebody to be the same way, so I can grow, and maybe there's things that they can do for me, and then there's things I could do for them that they don't like to do, or whatever it is.
And yeah,
I want a team player,
Right.
is what I want.
Right.
Batter up.
Someone that picks up the slack and then you pick up their slack.
Yeah, like, and it's effort. It's no effort.
and vice versa. Like, don't hold that accountability what your past done for your future.
Yeah, definitely don't take that. And I think in the beginning, after losing Russ, people were like, you can't compare. And I think I was, maybe in the beginning, I was looking for certain things because I knew what I wanted and didn't want, right? But now, like, nobody's ever going to replace him. But there is certain qualities that he had that I really admired. So I do want those because he was definitely a go-getter. Like, I need a hustler. Somebody that's willing.
Well, because you're a hustler.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't want someone that wasn't a hustler. Like, that's me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I dated this guy that was like, he acted like he was a hustler, but like, he really wasn't a hustler. And now he's married to someone else that I know. And I feel like she wears the pants in the family. She does all the things. And I'm like, this is exactly why I never wanted to marry him.
Yeah, or vice versa. You can always change this person, and then this person becomes a hustler with you.
Right. But there has to be something.
But they have to have that mentality too.
Ambition,
You can't, you cannot give someone ambition.
Like, it's kind of like loyalty in my eyes. It's like either you're born with it or you're not.
Yeah.
Like, because you can love me all you want, but like, I'm pretty much friends with everybody that I've ever became friends with. I think there's like one or two people in my life that I absolutely will not talk to. But I need to know that, like, you got me at the end of the day, because you can love me and cheat on me. I'd rather have loyalty all day.
Secure.
Yeah. And I'm so afraid of being hurt because I was shattered. So I have trust issues with that. And so the man that does come into my life is going to have to reassure me, but also not too much reassure me, because it's going to, I don't want
you away too.
Yeah, that'll drive. There's like a thin line.
Such a fine line
It
for
is.
Amber. Oh.
Do you guys believe in opposite attracts?
Yes.
You guys do?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't.
I'm like, I feel like I need another me.
And I don't mean like, how can I say this?
I feel like it's gonna they're just gonna bump heads and not kind of agree on a lot of things, and just gonna stay like that. Well,
here's the thing. Also, with my two exes, I'm a Taurus. They were both Tauruses. My second ex-husband, we were born on the exact same day, the exact same year.
Okay.
We did not get along because we were too much alike. So there has to be some things that, because if you get someone that's too much like you, it's almost like looking in a mirror and you're going to see everything. And there may be things that you don't want to see.
Well, that's why you need somebody to pick up the slack.
Right. But that's why I'm saying they kind of have to not be like too, with you, but a little opposition. Because that's also, you can attest to this, that's also what's attractive about a man, is when they don't let you have your way every single time. That's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me some pushback. Don't just be a yes guy.
Yeah.
I want, like, I don't want to wear the pants.
Even if the woman wants to be like, I wear the pants, or like, it's what I say, nah, it ain't.
You know what my dad says? My dad says, she wears the pants because I gave them to her.
Right.
Well, I'm fucking tired of wearing the fucking pants.
Yeah.
Why do you think she's wearing a dress today?
10 years in, I'm a little tired of wearing those pants myself.
Yes. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so I'm going to lighten it up a little bit, and I am going to ask you a question, Frankie. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how dramatic are you when you get a cold? Be honest. Do you turn into a man baby?
Nah. No, I don't know.
I feel like he doesn't have time for that because he has a child. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, I gotta get up.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes it does. You do want that little affection, and you just you just want to be cuddly and everything.
Yeah.
But
But at the end of the day, you got shit to do. You got a kid to raise, so you don't have time to lay around and be a man baby.
Yeah, so it's like, but even if I wanted to, I feel like I don't know. I just can't.
Okay.
I can't just. I mean, I like to cuddle and be like baby, but I mean that's if my partner was doing that on her own.
Yeah,
that's
also. But I wouldn't do it myself. Like,
but if you were sick,
God,
are you like a big baby when you're sick?
No.
I think is the question. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
And so
See,
I have a question.
Yes.
What sign are you?
I'm a Gemini.
I didn't even know that. Okay. I should know that because I think I remember.
Well, because I was going to ask if do you care about Gemini? Do you care about Gemini? Do you care about zodiac signs? Like, do you think anything of it? Like, do you know what your sign is that you should be attracted to? Do you know what your partner should like? My partner should be I think a Cancer or a Capricorn.
Candy corn.
I can't remember.
I think we're Sagittarius.
I know I had looked it up. I had looked it up before. But
Does the zodiac sign play any part in your dating and like the people that you surround yourself with?
You know, honestly, I don't even like focus on the zodiac signs. And then when people ask me about the zodiac signs, I'm like, who pays attention to this thing?
I do.
I wouldn't know. Like I'm like, they're like, oh, what are you? And they're like Gemini, and they're like, oh my god, I dated a Gemini. They're horrible. I'm like, I'm not horrible.
It doesn't mean every Gemini is
horrible.
We're
the best.
But
we're the best.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we are.
Every time I'm like, oh, what are you? A Gemini, like, oh my god, you guys are. That's like.
Because Geminis get a bad rap. Just like see, the two worst signs are Gemini and Scorpio.
My dad's a Scorpio.
But those are like the evil signs. You know what I mean? I'm not saying anything about you two because I love Amber. She is like a light. I love her. To me, she's not a Gemini. But to her, she's a true Gemini. But I'm a true Taurus. Like, I'm stubborn, I'm bullheaded, I'm all these things, right?
See, that's why I tell people, I go, I'm a Gemini, but I'm not the Gemini that you guys think of,
right.
You know?
Exactly. So the first thing people think of when they think of, like, signs that are bad are Scorpios and Geminis. From other standpoint of the zodiac sign.
All I know is Scorpios are freaks.
See, maybe not all of them.
You know something about Scorpio.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go to the horoscope today because I want to know what my horoscope. I don't really look at that stuff. I mean, I have an app on my phone, but
is there something wrong with somebody being a man baby?
For me, I'm like, fucking suck it up. Like, I don't know. Okay, so here's a story.
So you won't be like out of your own way, like
no,
you're just laying there watching TV, trying to feel better. You know, he's just relaxing. You don't just come up and like, cuddly with them.
No, I'll give you medicine and stuff like that. But if you're like over dramatic, I'm like, yeah, we ain't doing that. So I have a story. One time I was super sick and I was dating this guy, and he lived in, we'll just say Modesto. He worked in the Bay Area, so he was already commuting, and I was like sleeping. He's like blowing up my phone because he's like, oh, like I'll bring you medicine, whatever. Like, so I wake up to these text messages saying I'm on my way to your house, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you can't just show up to my house. Like, I was pissed off, and all he was trying to do was do something nice, and we're still friends, and so like I told him, I said, that really irked me that you just like showed up and
I don't want anyone coming to my house.
Yeah, like I'm sick because now you've already like drove all this way. Right. So like you're not
I feel obligated.
I feel obligated to like stay awake or like whatever. But in his mind, he was like, well, I'm just trying to take care of you. Well, fucking DoorDash that shit. I mean.
Was there DoorDash at the time?
And so like I know I'm totally wrong for feeling that way because all my friends are like, you're fucking cold. Like, that's fucked up. Like,
I mean, it's understandable you want the DoorDash, but it's kind of a little fucked up. Like, he's trying to go on his way to, like, maybe pop up and do a little surprise. But, like, I brought you medicine. It's the thought that counts.
I don't want nobody surprising me at my house, and especially when I'm sick.
Like, if you lived in town, it would be one thing because you could just be like, oh, here, babe. Like, you know what I mean?
But
like,
he drove all the way from another fucking
I would have
town.
just left that shit in front of the doorstep. Like, check outside.
I was nice while he was there, but...
You let him in?
Yeah, I did. You know what I mean?
Nah, just...
he's still on my friends list.
I wouldn't have let him in.
But yeah, and I've known him since I was a teenager. But
also, what if you were contagious?
I don't think he cared. He's like, come here, girl.
Yeah, people. No wonder COVID ran rampant.
I look back and I'm like, that is.
Get sick together and I'll stay with you till we get better.
That
oh,
was.
hell no.
It was
No.
super mean of me to like think of that, but that just goes to show you like how independent I am. I'm like, if I need something, like, I'll get it. Mm-hmm. So, I should probably. I'm gonna bring that up to him.
It's always the thought that counts. Sometimes.
It is, and I told him because after he did that, like I really kind of backed away. Yeah.
I mean, there's a point where it's overdoing it, and then just like, but then it's like, man, really?
But you're an hour away. Like now, I gotta entertain you. Like that's not cool. Okay, so Gemini horoscope for today. Someone may be disagreeing with you over a decision that you see as completely logical and obvious. While they argue about it, you may be trying to convey how reasonable your decision is. This may not be an issue of the other person's understanding. However, it may be more about a power struggle and trying to outlast you by refusing to give in. If that's the case, it might help to demonstrate the alternate scenarios that could occur if they do not get on the board. Be honest and fair, but factual. There may be a lot to lose, dear Gemini, and this person won't want to be at fault. Well, Geminis are right. My way or the highway. So get on board, motherfuckers.
Like, stop being so soft sometimes.
Yeah. I want to be like soft girl era. I really would like to have that.
I was just telling my, you know what? I don't see, like, when I hear, princess treatment, this and that, I'll be like, girl, you don't even act like a princess. So why would I treat you like a princess? I'm gonna treat you like a thug.
Yeah.
You act like a man sometimes.
No, I saw somebody posted it, and I was like, I like this comment. It's somebody, I don't even know who. I can't even pull it up, but it said something about like women that call themselves boss bitches is like hella immature. And I'm like, when I read it, I was like, do I really want to be a boss bitch? Like, yeah, I know I'm a badass. Like, I know I could take care of everything, but like, when I read it, I was like, maybe I don't want to be a boss bitch. Like, I'm not a side piece. I'm not any of that.
Classy, sassy.
Yeah, classy.
I feel like that's a younger person because Cody calls me that all the time. You're a boss bitch, mom. That's what she says.
Yeah.
So
I'll be like, I'm classy and sassy.
Hey, I got that Stanford voice, but I will thug it out all day.
Thug life.
Thug life, no. But, I want to be in the soft girl era, but it's going to take somebody special.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Yeah, same.
What about Taurus? What's Taurus Day?
Oh, my thing today, I just read it.
And you laughed about it.
Well, it says, you have lots of energy at your disposal today, Taurus, but it's erratic and powerful. You have the stamina to make major changes and the opportunity to break free from any restrictions that hold you back. Embrace the new, fresh aspects of your life that ring true to your freedom-loving nature. Give your soul room to breathe as you take a long walk in nature this afternoon.
Well, you were trying to do a walk this week.
I was trying to do a walk with you, bitch.
Sorry, I've been busy.
I'm busy.
There you go.
Sorry, it wasn't a problem.
Excuse. Here's an excuse.
What did I have? I had something.
I'm trying to tell her, and I tried to tell Cody this. If you go outside and you take a walk, not in town, got to go up to the mountains. You got to go up someplace where it's pretty. And there's some creeks. There's some places that I know, the San Joaquin Gorge. It makes you feel grounded. And I know, like, people say that, but you really, really do take a minute to breathe in nature. Breathe it in, take a look around you, be grateful for where you are, be grateful for what you have. And when you stand out there in that nothingness and look around at everything around you, it really, really makes you think about all the good things that you have.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. Even when we went up to Kirkhoff, like it was nice just to be out on the water and paddleboard and.
But I've been funky lately. So that's why I'm trying to get myself to some place where I know I'm going to be feeling better. So with that being said, it's time for us to wrap this up.
Yes, yes, yes.
We'd like to thank you for joining us today.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
A little insight from a man, a little insight from a single father.
At that, yes.
Yeah, and we got to meet your little man over here.
Yes.
Super interested in that phone.
Yes.
He doesn't even know we're talking about
Well,
him.
hopefully, you guys could have me back soon.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll get some.
topics
Yeah,
talk.
we'll get some more topics going. So this was totally last minute. Usually we plan like a week in advance,
Yes.
and we're like, let's just go. And then I posted about
And
that.
I was like,
Yeah, I saw
should
your
I
message
say?
this morning.
I was like, should I say? I was like, nah, I don't know.
You
I don't
got
know.
scared.
And then I call him.
I asked him, I was like, what do you think? She's like, you should do it because you have good conversations. You have a lot to talk about. And I'm like, I don't know. And then she called me. I was like, hey, you know what? Well, I'm going to turn down an opportunity like that. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter's wife did it, and she was all nervous like you. And then by the end of it, she was just talking.
I was sweating, but now I'm fresh. Let's go.
Well, that's just kind of how it goes. Like, I caught him off guard, and I was like, just bring your son. It's fine. But you were supposed to be here today because really somebody else was supposed to be here, and they couldn't make it. And you said yes.
Yeah.
So
meant to be.
Yep, it was meant to be. So thank you, Frankie.
Well,
Yes, thank you.
I hope to see you this season during football.
Oh, man. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
All right.
Been out for a minute.
Yeah, you've been out for a minute, but that's all right. All right. With that, we're going to say Roger that.
Roger that.
Roger that.